starting on Ancient, and we are live into the pistol round.
Notoriously such a hard team to play against. They're going to be starting on the CT side with MOUZ on the T side. And let's see how this plays out. A little bit of a slow start, but they are pretty forward in middle. Lean towards the B bomb side early. It's a classic positional rush in almost any map. If you're going to be fast on this one, typically it's towards the B bomb side. But they're sneaking up. Looks like they want to try and take a fight towards Fame at the moment. Molotov to force him out. They know he's going to be swinging on the right side if he's there. Oh, but he just walks past them. They didn't check it. He fires a shot and he can't hit it. Frozen with the 180 instead to take down Fame. And now it's a 3-on-5. That is a little bit of fortune going the way of MOUZ.
A lot of unfortune going the way of Outsiders and Fame. That's a perfectly played round. Norbert with the duel. He's going to try and pick up the pieces. Only good for one. Flitz on the flank through Donut. But I don't think they have access into this bomb site. Qikert's already been forced back, and this is a pistol round victory for MOUZ as Outsiders concede. They want the smoke, they want the flash, they want the armor on Flit, and it's going to be 1-0 for MOUZ.
I'm a little bit surprised they didn't do more of a job at checking Donut there. But other than that, you kind of get a sense for it from Outsiders. They had no mid-control at all, and so MOUZ were allowed to walk really close to the A-bomb site before they really figured out what was going on.
I mean, if you're MOUZ, you expect that Molotov has been practiced, has been saying, we're going to throw this so that it lands directly behind that to burn out this position. You expect that contact to come. That Molotov does the job for them of clearing out that position. I don't know if it was maybe thrown a little bit shallow, maybe just a little bit off than what they're used to. But either way, Fame does a great job of finding some safety, and it just misses the opportunity he worked so hard for himself.
And a decent start, and given the way that things sometimes could turn out on the T side of this map, winning the pistol round, I mean, on most maps these days, I feel like we don't care so much if you win it on the T or the CT side. It's always good to do it, but on this map, I feel like right now, yeah, it's nice to get a little bit of a bonus at the beginning. And they actually get maybe one of the, we just said, no easy rounds against Outsiders, but it's just USP, so surely this is one of them. It's got to be.
Yeah. This is probably the most breathing you'll have in a round for this entire series.
Yeah.
is this round. Everything after this. I mean, the whole conversation around Outsiders is just, it's so stressful. It's so frustrating because there's no easy rounds. Each and every time you're fighting against a buy, you're fighting against a saved weapon. And I mean, it was interesting. We had the conversation with Outsiders, Yenko and I, with Outsiders and Fnatic earlier on in this tournament. And Fnatic was even saying, you know, sometimes they save a rifle or two and they pick up pistols behind it. And the difficulty is you never know if it's going to be the rifles making the play first or the pistols you're going to encounter first. There's so many different looks that Outsiders is going to confuse you with that makes them such a dangerous team. And that's why they're in this position. 2-0 as MOUZ make quick work of the USPs, but the M4s come now.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen really a team yet that has looked comfortable against them, and that's obviously one of the strengths. So curious to see if MOUZ are going to be up to the task. They faced them before, obviously, and didn't manage to beat them, but obviously also learned a lot from that game. So I'm really, really excited to see how this is going to be playing out. Finally, some rifles in the hands of the CTs. It's not super impressive, and no head armor on a bunch of them either, so even the Galils on the Mac 10 here could do some damage. Quick mid-control from Exertion. Look at this.
This is nice. What can he do with it, though? Is he going to get flashed in? There's two players. Oh, he's brought down low. I don't even think he wants to go in after taking the damage, but he finds himself in. I think he's heard Flit fall back as well. He has no idea the position of Jame. A follow-up flashbang gets him out into safety, at least for the moment, but that's not going to last forever. Jame takes his life, and MOUZ playing it a 4-on-5.
He definitely did not know that there was somebody else in the middle. A little bit of a surprise. Grenade coming over to smoke it off, but it's a little bit too late. Dexter already sneaking past. He's going to be taken down. One good return from torzsi. If he doesn't get that, I don't think there's a round left here for MOUZ. They probably get completely locked out of it now. They still have a minute. They still have the 3-on-3, and they have Frozen over at the B ramp. He's been sneaking up here and creating a lot of space on the map.
And this is a round-defining play. Actually, Frozen doesn't work up the courage to continue moving forward. That was MOUZ taking a lot of attention towards the other side of the map to give Frozen some space to work with. If he can find a kill.
Yeah, he's slowly doing it now. Jump on the other side from Norbert that I think Frozen might have heard. They still got about 35 seconds. Another nade rings in, and Fame is just a second late to the party. Maybe he could have picked up one player there. Going to go for the bomb plant now on the other side. Still plenty of time. They're going to commit to it as well. Good shot from Frozen, and now it's a little bit tight for Outsiders. If they lose this round, it's going to be a really big deal for this first half. Jame rushing in, and torzsi, he almost didn't hear it. Now he comes back for it, but he's so low on health. He can't win the fight. Frozen now in a 1 versus 2, and he's out of the bomb side. He's got to be careful. No kit on anyone right now, so it's 10 seconds. He turns around and picks up Norbert as well. That is a great spin and a great round for MOUZ Sports.
A fantastic triple kill. And it does end up Frozen is the one to win the round. An initial kill as they're rotating over inside of that B bomb site in the follow-up 1v2. Well managed. And obviously a great plant position as well to allow Frozen to make that move. Visible from the ramp, an easy peek upwards. And they weren't entirely sure where he went off to. They thought maybe he was going to be in cave until James spots him, and Norbert never able to react in time. 3-0, and we're going to get a quick tech pause as Outsiders call for, I would imagine, a microphone situation to try and fix things up moving forward.
And it's really cool to see MOUZ able to do this a little bit early on, sort of probing the middle, probing the A-bomb side, always leaving a little bit of a chance over at B. That style of Counter-Strike has just proven so effective, and it's been ramping up over the last couple of months. We're seeing more and more teams try to play into it.
And importantly, we're starting to see a lot of the European teams adopt it now as well. So you get that incredible skill. I mean, that was one of the defining features of the CIS team, is bringing in this new meta, this new brand of Counter-Strike that no one was really figuring out entirely. Gave them a huge run over the past year and a half. We've seen Heroic play that style yesterday. We're seeing MOUZ busted out here. We know Liquid's been attempting to shift into more of that style as well.
Yeah, it is really, really efficient. It works out for MOUZ. 3-0 lead. Outsiders back to not that much. Could invest, you know, sort of a couple of pistols, a little bit here, but it's going to be hard to put together a really significant buy. Might have to hold their breath and wait a little bit longer before they can actually start to pick this up.
Yeah, well, we still haven't seen the op in James' hands, obviously, still very early going. I mean, if you're talking about another MOUZ upset, which I would still class this as an upset if they're able to take down Outsiders. I mean, this is a perfect start for it. How many can you build on top of the pistol, on top of this third round and first gun round?
I mean, in front of the crowd, playing on a stage. Get the momentum boost. Everyone feels super fired up. You can build a long way into it. And playing the T side of Ancient as well. If they get up to a quick 5 or 6 rounds at the start here, they're in such a comfortable position to begin with. So, yeah, admin on stage, sorting out last couple of issues before we get back into it. But yeah, I would say this would be an upset too, for sure.
Frozen has been playing absolutely lights out for this team, and we've touched on him a number of times in the unique position that he's in, where he's just such a young player, but he's still considered like the veteran of this roster. He's 20 years old, and he's got the most experience of any of them, and this is a very young squad.
Yeah, it's crazy to imagine, isn't it?
Yeah, the fact that you can have an experienced player like Frozen delivering this kind of performance and this kind of impact for you is absolutely massive, and obviously the young guns stepping it up when necessary as well. I think one player in the series that you got to look out for too that's going to be absolutely necessary to victory for MOUZ is torzsi.
With that AWP.
Yeah. He's going to be huge in that sense with the op, but also a player that had a little bit of, I don't want to, like a slower start to the series the other day against Cloud9. Kind of picked things up at the end, but they need him from the get-go here against Outsiders.
Yeah, he can be very explosive when he is in the right zone, and you're right, in the semifinals you have to be.
And this is the kind of unique buy out of Outsiders that we talk about that makes it, how do you read that this is what's coming? There's an M4 on the board, a USP on Qikert who saved all of his money. James got a scout, some 5.7s picked up. It's just an interesting, weirdly scattered buy. But you never know what this one M4 in the hands of Flit can provide them.
And if you run into one of the 5.7s or even one of the USPs there, then maybe you just misread the whole thing. Now, they did run into at least a little bit of presence in middle, but you might not guess that there's actually still an M4 in play somewhere on the map, but you could make some mistakes behind that. Scout as well. There's the headshot. Dexter goes straight down. James, it's a good entry into the round, but they're not going to back down. They're not that scared of the Scout either. With the smoke up as well, they're going to be feeling all right, but Famous on the other side too. And torzsi's out of the round, just like that. 3 versus 3. Bomb quite far back from MOUZ, which is a little bit concerning. They have time, but still, you don't want to be wasting it looking for the bomb. James is going to go down finally, and maybe that's a signal for Outsiders to say, all right, if we want to be dangerous in the next round, we actually need this M4.
Yeah, save the M4 if you have the opportunity to do it. Obviously, you can scrape together a buy with 4 weapons and have Flit on a pistol, but if you have the chance to save the M4, you might as well do it, and that's exactly what Outsiders has in mind. Plant's going to go down. Good round from Exertion to push forward and actually challenge around the corner, take that space. But you can see the danger even with the scattered by. That turned into a 3-on-3. A kill through the smoke, a nice shot from James with the scout. That round still had a lot of elements of danger that could have spun it on its head.
Yeah, classically, if you go back and look at the different rounds from Outsiders getting to the stage, you're going to find a bunch of rounds like these where suddenly it works out, suddenly you lose a random round, and whatever momentum you had going just gets stolen away immediately. So cool to see MOUZ Sports able to live through it, at least for now. Let's see if they can continue. Got to be careful you don't give over an AK in the last second here. That's not really necessary. Hunting a little bit may be fine, but yeah, they're going to slow it down as well.
We talk about James tactically, but as an in-game leader figure for this team, he's so incredibly critical. Talking with Fame and Flit, I mean, Fame and Norbert came in earlier this year, right after the Antwerp major back in the beginning of June. And those two guys have already kind of helped kind of turn the fortunes after an early exit in Antwerp. But James has been credited so much with being a phenomenal teacher to the younger players on the team, understanding how to work both with veterans and new players alike.
Yeah.
He's got this team playing so very well together. Good shot from James. AWP is on the board, and already its presence is known to MOUZ.
There's no question that Outsiders are definitely more than the sum of their parts at this point in time, because it's not like they have, you know, all of the top superstars in the world playing for this team, but they are performing at such a high level, and that has to do with the structure and it has to do with the leadership. There's just no other way to put that credit. So 5th round is coming up. MOUZ Sports in a 4-0 lead. This is a beautiful start. If they can keep this going for another couple of rounds, they will have cemented themselves a really cool first half already. Outsiders have got to focus right here.
Deep nade towards Norbert. A little bit of chip damage, down to 80 HP. MOUZ is all lined up towards this B bomb site. They want to challenge towards Cave. But once again, the AWP from James is in a perfect position. That flashbang does nothing.
Frozen, it's almost like he knew. A little tickle in the back of his neck saying, you know what, I don't feel good about this. Summon is up.
You don't want to do it.
40 seconds, and this time they don't have control anywhere on the map. This is much more of a directed fight towards the B bomb site. Set up with the flashes, the smoke as well. They're going to try and come through it. This seems a bit desperate. Norbert is absolutely ready on the other side. A great triple spray down. They did not even really make it out. And Frozen, nothing to fight for now. And even worse, Outsiders so far, no casualties on their side at all. So they're going to go from having almost no money to work with to building at least some kind of an economy.
That's a great defensive smoke from Norbert as well. I mean, good on him for holding on to it until so late in the round, but also as you throw it out when the execute's coming in, it gives the safety and the space for Norbert to actually be able to swing on his teammate's contact. Qikert's inside the bomb site. If that smoke isn't there, there's a supportive T on the ramp who's able to hold that angle and kind of keep you pinned down and at least make that a 1-for-1 trade. Instead, with the smoke, Norbert grabs 3, and it's a strong defense to get Outsiders going in these semifinals.
Yeah, that's very, very important that they get up to this kind of a start. And they get to save the AWP. Actually, they pick up 2 AKs on top of it, so they're going to be fairly well equipped going into this round. MOUZ, of course, still able to buy, but their funds are running low as well. So a big opportunity right now for Outsiders to swing back into this first half and start to cement that CT side just a bit more. Oh, and actually, almost looked like Exertion. He wanted to go for that mid-fight. He is such an aggressive player. If he can win this one, it opens up the whole map.
It seems at the moment like Outsiders is going to be content to a certain extent to let him have it. Doubled up in Donut. They're going to start getting aggressive now. Here's the chance for Exertion to have impact. Sees the gun barrel. There's the swing and the headshot. Opening kill. Goes the way of MOUZ, but a deep nade with that information is going to rain in. And the spam is going to finish him off.
That is unfortunate. Would have been really, really nice if he could have got some backup in there, but we're just a little bit too far away. And also, James was covering that whole execute into the middle from Outsiders up in the palace. So, you know, if you overswing that on the T side, you might just run into the AWP.
Outsiders have a bad read at the moment. Flit's in middle, and they've shifted 3 players over to the B bomb site. That's not the end game for MOUZ. They are realigning. It's taking a lot of time, so there's a chance that Outsiders can still figure this one out, piece together the puzzle, and hustle over. That's a good defensive smoke, but I don't know if it's going to hold MOUZ off.
Doesn't look like it at the moment. They're setting up to try and go through it. This round just might be on Flit. He's alone here. 25 seconds, and now they're starting to realize.
I can't believe it stopped them cold.
Oh, it actually did. And there's 20 seconds now. Look at the rotation coming in from outsiders. They have a much better setup here. Qikert just in time to get that refrag onto JDC. 10 seconds on the clock, and they need to get that bomb on right now. Qikert on the spray down. That stolen AK, and that is the round. There's nothing Frozen could do about it. That little delay of about 10 seconds was enough that outsiders got into position. MOUZ definitely had an opportunity.
I mean, the decision they're making, it's the gamble. If you come through that smoke, obviously, as we can see, they had the space to work with. They could have gotten through it safely and progressed onto the bomb site with a really deep passive challenge. But in their minds, it's if someone's behind the smoke, we're all done. The round depends on it. Unfortunately, that delay in the decision allows the rotation to come, allows Qikert to get here. And with time winding down, he knows to be aggressive.
Great news for outsiders. They can keep this going. And MOUZ have that one AK that they can try and build something on the back of in this round. It's been done before. Maybe a deagle or two as well. But outsiders, when we've already seen, they're kind of hard to find any kind of a fight against. Qikert is actually giving an opportunity here, but other than that, they've been fairly passive on their CT side. You almost have to be on the bomb side to fight them. Frozen. Yeah, that would have been a great opportunity. Looks like they will try and crunch the whole way here.
Yeah, but JDC's in an important position. Unfortunately, with just the deagles, I don't know if he can do a whole lot. Flit's got an off angle for the moment. Gonna give it up as the smoke's about to fade. He wants to drop a Molotov into the choke point. However, the B bomb site is under pressure now.
Yeah, they're gonna go for it. Leg shot onto Dexter, grenade up on top. It'll land right on him. Not the best start for the execute. Molotov as well to try and slow them down and delay that bomb plant while the rest of the rotation is coming in. So outsiders don't look stressed at all. Yeah, they've lost the bomb site, but they don't really care. They're not worried about losing the round. And Frozen is going to be down last. Not a single casualty, no bomb plant, and 3 rounds in a row for outsiders.
Yeah, this is wonderful so far from outsiders. 3 rounds straight, 2 of them flawless with all 5 players surviving. Really nicely done. A good recovery after going down into an early hole, 0-4. And the first time out is taken for MOUZ, as they want to have a conversation.
Yeah, I mean, now is probably the time for it, because, again, 4 rounds is pretty decent as a start. Not enough overall. If you want to feel comfortable, you definitely need more than that. And I really think, I'm curious to see how much this is going to be happening with, I think it was Qikert moving out a little bit to play outside of the B bomb site, but just in general, they're so far back. I mean, Jame with the AWP, he's all the way back at the back of the B bomb site. Just very, very hard. If you wanted to try and isolate a kill to offset the defense so you can do some of that juggling that they did in the beginning that was successful, you do need to at least get one opening. That's not been easy in the last couple of rounds at least.
Deep smoke goes down, deep Molotovs into the choke point. Actually, both of them miss. That's awkward, very awkward, and they're lucky to be alive, I think, and even better to get a kill on top of everything else.
Yeah, they patched that right up, missing the grenades.
That's nerve-wracking, though.
Oh, torzsi, he's hoping for a timing, hoping that just walking up here cold could catch him a kill and bring them back into the round. It's not a bad idea, and he's got this very deep spot. Now the flash on top, but they're just so deep in here again. He's almost walking into a 3-man crossfire before he gets the first fight, and that happens to be with an AWP. James shooting him in the back. They try to go for some wall bangs here, but that's not really a reliable way to get any kind of entry. 5-on-3 in this one.
Yeah, perhaps hoping that they were going to find Jame elsewhere on the map, or not find Jame at that bomb site. JDC's going to have to put out the Molotov. Stuck in his own smoke, and escapes with the help of Dexter. All 3 players for MOUZ in middle, but outsiders are setting up a trap. Flit and Fame in Donut. Jame rotating around with the AWP. That's a great kill, but a defensive smoke is again going to hold them at bay.
Yeah, the last smoke that they have as well on the CT side, but it might just be enough here. Flit spraying through, he sees enough, out of bullets, but it doesn't matter. James rotated over, and this CT side is really coming together now for outsiders. You can see their strength. MOUZ are having a hard time getting those entries.
Yeah, really early on, it's starting to look comfortable. The defense has just slammed shut access to all the bomb sites.
Something interesting, though, when the CTs throw that double Molotov in the middle, if you have just one team that's spotting it, but the other 4 members of the team are somewhere else on the map, that's pretty strong confirmation that you have that double CT set up in the middle early, and you can make some plays around that if you're MOUZ. If you really want to make a fast play, hearing those double Molotovs going down is, yeah, it's a way to play it. Deagles on the T side. Score is all tied up. And again, very standard round coming out here. A little bit more forward in the middle. Again, they're sort of taking a look.
I mean, with Flit and Qikert this aggressive, it allows James to shift over to this angle at the A bomb site. They're saying, yep, there's nobody outside B, nobody in middle whatsoever. They probably know it's a low economy round as well, so James playing it safe and making sure he has presence to support his teammate Fame. So James going to get the first crack at this. And as they swing wider, the M4 from the bomb site will get involved. Great shot from Frozen, but it's not going to be enough.
No, definitely not. There's no way to clear that angle when the orb is holding. It's a very, very tight gap there. I think they had maybe one smoke they could have thrown, but you have no idea where to actually put it. Norbert showing up to save the AWP, obviously important. And Dexter is going to be on his own. So Outsiders going to be taking the lead right here. 5 rounds. You can see how comfortable they look. No panic at all, losing the first 4 in a row, and they shrug it right off.
5 rounds and now only averaging losing a single player for each of those rounds.
Yeah,
it's been
crazy.
Very clean defense, which allows the money to build, which means for all the difficulty MOUZ is having ending this streak with 1 win, they're going to have to win multiple in a row. If they want an easier time against a low economy. Oh, back in the hands of torzsi. Full utility on the rest of MOUZ with AK-47s. And again, they'll be facing off against an aggressive mid defense.
Yeah, some awkward smokes in the middle there. They are going to be doubling up on it, leaving A. I mean, James and CT spawn defending the A bomb site. You just want to look at it. He just wants the 1 kill if anyone comes here. Other side of MOUZ, though, they are outside of the B bomb site. So again, this could be the sort of round where you need an opening and then you make up your mind afterwards.
Yeah, another smoke goes down in middle, which allows Fame and Flit to be comfortable here until just around the 1 minute mark. They do have an extra Molotov as well, but they want to back away from the fight before they have to think about it. Xertion and JDC going to clear things out in mid once this smoke clears. And meanwhile, MOUZ trying to do their best to take control, but Qikert's got the opening frag. Oh. Nice find back through the smoke from Dexter, and he takes up the space.
That's huge. I swear, Qikert, he actually ran into the flash that was coming through on the T side. I can't believe Qikert got the kill, but a nice return from Dexter at the very least. Flit's getting me there, and it was just the top of his helmet showing. JDC out of the round. torzsi and Dexter, 40 seconds. They can win this still. They don't have any nades left, but 1 good entry here could land them the bomb plant. Norbert's going to make sure that's not happening, though, and he'll get the follow-up as well, taking down Dexter. Another round with a single casualty on the side of Outsiders. This is ridiculous. They look like they just made a concrete now. 6-4. They can't be stopped. Yeah,
there's no stress on this Outsiders team at the moment. Second time out for MOUZ, as Cyclone is going to get involved in the conversation. Trying to talk them through these difficulties as he's done time and time again. This is the team that he built. He's got them in the semifinals. And trying to get them out of this hole here. Dig them out of the rut. 6 straight for Outsiders on defense. Norbert's up to 10 kills. James is at 9 just behind him.
Yeah, the problem is you've way past the zone where winning a single, upset round could maybe put some damage to the Outsiders' economy. It's just going to be hard from here on out. That's how it is.
I think the first thing MOUZ is going to have to do is really start forcing this defense back in middle at some point. Emphasize maybe a delayed mid take once the utility is done, because the middle presence from Outsiders is allowing them to win the information game. It's allowing them to know what's happening on the map at all times, whether to shift towards A or whether to shift towards B. And the mid control also allows Qikert to have angles like this, where he can get a deep spot down the hallway.
That is a good point. Yeah, he can't really stay there, obviously, if they don't have the mid control. So he's feeling just fine about it. Norbert waiting. Grenade in hand, thinking about when to throw it in. Actually, with a little bit of a double nade, so could do a lot of damage. Already tagged up as they get onto the bomb site. Tech-9s in hands, and that bomb plant, a little bit delayed. Yeah, there we go. Before the smoke fades, they're finally going to attempt it. Very, very tough round. Even if it's a 5-on-5 with a retake here, Outsiders, they probably have protocols to deal with this, so they're going to be running down Qikert. That's a good start. They at least get the weapon. JDC, he can't find a headshot, and now 3 versus 4, but Norbert is a little bit low on health. There's still a very, very slim chance that MOUZ Sports could win this round, and remember, every round on this T side is going to count. This is really important. They've just lost 6 in a row. They have to get back into the game. A lot of smokes down in front, and Outsiders, they're going to be straight on it with the fuse kits. 5 seconds away from winning the round now. They're trying trying to get the wall bang through, but nobody's connecting. And that is such a great retake coming in. They don't even worry about the kills. They get them anyway, but they just focus on the defuse.
Importantly, when Qikert goes down, he gets 1 kill in Jaguar, but he spots a player at the double doors outside of the B bomb site at the base of the ramp. He spots 2 players pushing him from cave. So when outsiders get 1 frag on the planter inside the site, they know everyone else is locked out. They know where the remaining 3 members of MOUZ are. They know they can push in and stick the defuse, and there's no way that MOUZ can stop it.
And obviously,
good read.
You get 1 kill with a wall bang like that, you're thinking, well, that could be the defuser. We don't know. It just wasn't this time. 7 in a row.
Now this is then the X factor of outsiders. This evolution with this roster, someone like Fame pushing up and being aggressive when it's least expected. When you've seen passive defenses for most of this time. And now on the mini-map, you can see Fame pushed all the way up. And he can sit here, lie in wait for a rotation and a shift from the offense into his position. Or he can find a timing for a very fast flank.
I'm sure as soon as they see anybody else on the map, they're going to be communicating with Fame right away to get him some clarity on when it's going to be safe to maybe move forward. And then he should just stick it frozen, trying to guess through the smoke, but not really able to at the moment. Bomb is making its way back, and JDC looks like he's going to be in charge of clearing the hallways. The timing is good for JDC, and Fame losing a little bit of patience. Still 45 seconds. Finally, a little bit of an entry that goes the way of MOUZ. They desperately needed it. Yeah, and now they need to capitalize, but look at the rotation, the full-on gamble for outsiders. They have this read, MOUZ Sports. They thought this was an opening, but I don't think it is. Still 2 players on the bomb side, and that's hard to guess. Dexter low on health, he's gonna go down. Flit in the corner, and now torzsi trying to get the opening. Yeah, he had the right idea, but they don't have time for this. They need that bomb plant right now. Outsiders are all here in a 2-on-2. And Flit, he just has to hide back here. Qikert comes through the smoke. They're in a lot of trouble here on the T side once again. torzsi, 1 missed shot and he's dead, but he will land it. 6 seconds left and frozen over the smoke. Landing another kill. 5 on the side of MOUZ. They needed that round so desperately.
Yeah, that was really, really a sketchy round, but MOUZ is going to take it. What a battle with time running out. I think Qikert makes a great play. He just didn't find any of the fights he wanted coming through the smoke. So much pressure being applied to him, and they'd already known the position of Flit. MOUZ finally put a stop to the run in an unlikely round.
Whew, that could have gone wrong 10 different ways, and the rotation from outsiders is incredible.
There's the impact of torzsi with the ult.
Yeah, imagine if he misses that shot. Look at the push through. Dexter on the opening. Now, Fame is there for the refrag, but if it was just a 1 versus 1, that's probably fine for Dexter. He'll take that victory. There's still a man down, unfortunately, so the battle continues.
Just another look of this defense. There were actually 3 players in middle for outsiders. And MOUZ still stumped in terms of taking control of this without it being too costly. Man advantage for the defense. And Norbert and Qikert, as we've seen time and time again in this half, they're going to slide back. Play it passively. Allow Qikert to address middle. Smoke starting to plume inside of the B bomb site as torzsi makes his way, entering with the AWP. Molotov to try and slow down the plant as much as possible. It's going to do its job for the moment.
50 seconds, so plenty of time. They're going to flash their way through. They actually wanted to go and find a little bit of team damage there. They nearly line up, but Norbert will be there. Just continuous trading in favor of outsiders, and they'll take it. torzsi, absolutely no way in this one. 1 versus 3. They're right next to him. They got him boxed in, and 1 good flash over the wall. They might not even need it, but certainly that'll get him killed. Flit is in the smoke waiting. torzsi misses the shot. Can't really blame him for it. It's going to be another round, 8-5 in favor of outsiders.
Look how difficult it is for MOUZ to find a comfortable fight. They even flash him through the smoke, and they expect to make contact right on the other side of it, but the Norbert on the defense just shifted right back, and by the time he comes back for it, he's got a second teammate there in support. This right here, it's just so uncomfortable. Qikert and Norbert do a great job of just backing away from any danger and re-aggressing when they know they've got the advantage.
And it's so common to be actually waiting on that side and just be hanging out, you know, sometimes shooting through the smoke. So it's a really good guess with the flashbang, but didn't get the jackpot they wanted. 14th round is coming up. I will say this, though. The fact that MOUZ have 5 rounds is... imagine if they don't go on that 4-round win at the beginning.
Yeah.
They could have been locked out of this first half completely.
Especially with the defense we're seeing, you're exactly right. Third timeout is used for MOUZ. They're not content with 5. They want to scrape together as much as possible. They know it's going to be a difficult second half regardless. 2 rounds remaining in this first half of the first semifinal series here at IEM Rio.
Yeah, every single round. I think Outsiders, they're probably going to be pretty comfortable as well on the T side. So for MOUZ, this is about just building as much as you can. Frozen with the opening. This time, Qikert is not going to be able to jiggle that corner forever. It's been a lot of map control given by that, all on its own. And Flitz now, he can't stay here. He knows that smoke is going to be fading.
He can't now that James arrived.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And they've showed the M4 is the one guarding middle. Now you shift an op into the position. If JDC and Exertion decide to take a delayed mid, if MOUZ call for that, James can really punish him. But it has softened up the defense at B. Norbert's the only one.
Oh, 3 people in the middle once again, in the middle of the round. I don't know if they're expecting it, but Exertion, he certainly saw the gun barrel. Still not quite able to get the kill. Flit goes down. Dexter continues the battle. And now it's a 2-on-2 missed shot, and they will lose Frozen as well. That's really rough.
But Dexter has the opening. He's going to aggressively push the smoke. He needs to stop Norbert right now, making a ton of noise. Dexter knows what's coming, but he can't win the fight. It's all on torzsi. And it's all on James. Oh, what a weirdly missed shot has given a prayer and an opportunity to torzsi.
I have no idea what just happened. How does the bullet not hit him? Norbert's walking up behind, but he's very, very low on health. Dexter's play in the middle was really sick. It was a great idea. And torzsi, he's got the right read. He has to trust his instincts. Oh, Norman! How does he hit the shot? A triple and a clutch, and Outsiders will continue their dominance.
Something's going on with the bullets in that part of the map. Something's going on. They aren't connecting. Uncharacteristic misses in a huge 1v1. Yeah, this was odd. torzsi's gonna love that. This is more odd. Oh, Norbert was red. 12 HP. Only one needs to connect. And torzsi had the jump on him. Okay. 9-5.
How do you deal with that? Yeah, he is going to be super disappointed. 15th round. There's no time for disappointment. Let's see if they could do a little bit more. This time it's not Qikert at this angle. Switching up the AWP position. And again, like you said earlier, if you're expecting an M4 and you run into that, you get blown up. Frozen out of the round. And now they want to try and see if they can maybe push that A hallway finally. But they're very timid doing it.
Yeah, they only have 2 players here. This defense has built its strength, its effectiveness off mid control. They've had it this entire half. I don't think MOUZ has really been able to challenge in middle a whole lot outside of round number 3 when they had the advantage of weaponry and utility. Flit's going to back away from mid now and join up with Fame. Bolster this A defense, but if JDC and torzsi can get some fortunate trades, they might be able to beat the defensive rotation, the shift from Qikert.
All right, smoke, but looks like Fame wants to challenge it. The flashes behind make it very tough, and he's actually lucky to be alive. JDC could have found him. They'll find Qikert anyway. Another good flashbang set up by Dexter, and a 4-on-4. Oh, but no bomb plant. Wild and crazy spray coming through the smoke, and it's a headshot on torzsi. A little bit of luck going their way. Jamie's going to find that shot in the middle. He's been on point for this one. And now it's Dexter and JDC battling for their lives. Norbert's going to take the last 2 kills. A 10-5 first half in favor of Outsiders. That is very impressive. That's very convincing. Let's see if they can continue this line in the second half. We'll be right back.
Well, the MOUZ Academy students being taught yet another lesson, this time by outsiders on defense. 10 rounds on the CT side, a 10-1 run to close out the half. The dominance from outsiders, and MOUZ is going to switch over and show us what they learned from the first half experience.
Yeah, hopefully it's a lot. That's the reason why outsiders are in the semifinal to begin with. That kind of strength is rare to come by, and if MOUZ don't find some kind of magic solution here on the CT side, and this map is going to be over maybe a little bit quicker than they wanted it. 10-5, this pistol round. It could be everything for the MOUZ side of things. And James just toying with them while the rest of the team working outside of the B-bomb site. And actually, Exertion, he did not like that fight, and I don't blame him. He's kind of alone up there.
Yeah, he didn't like it one bit, and that's the reason why. It's not about the challenge, it's about the fact that there's nobody behind you. If you do go down, there's nobody to support. Still, they're a little bit split, especially if you considered a set piece coming in. There's the first smoke, no counter nades thrown out. Frozen starting to shift back towards middle, but here comes the main thrust.
He's up close with that USP. Qikert is there. He needs the headshot. What? The round starts with a team kill, but Norbert's going to make up for it, taking down Exertion. And they're back into the round again. 4 versus 4. I have no idea. It's way outside of the B-bomb side. I'm so confused. Dexter's gone down. Norbert is on an absolute rampage. And now it's torzsi and JDC left wondering what is happening. They sacrificed one of their players to power on Norbert. He's finally out of it. And Fame is still here, and torzsi now. He's got the kit, he's got a chance. If he had more bullets, he might have won the round right then and there. And now Fame, he's on the run. Goes straight for it, 5 seconds. He has to run back. Fame, he can't miss even a step. He slows it down, and that is the win for MOUZ Sports. Well, I don't even know what happened this round.
No, I don't either, but we're getting a tech pause, so I wonder if it has something to do with that. Regardless, torzsi gets a do-over from the clutch previously where he missed a shot.
Was it the bomb?
Yeah, I'm assuming so.
Oh, no. That makes sense. If the bomb freezes, you say, all right, we don't have a choice. It's a better explanation anyway than sacrificing someone to power up Norbert.
Well, even that part looked good. Yeah, unfortunate turn of affairs, but I mean, they even had a chance to win it at the end of the day. No way for Fame to know torzsi had a kit for the defuse, and he had to have loved it when he saw them fall all the way back in towards Jaguar. 10-6, both pistol rounds going the way of MOUZ, and listen, that's going to be frustrating, but you're going to have to bounce back if you're outsiders. You're going to have to just kind of swallow it, unfortunately. Seeing a PC get restarted there.
I feel like the way that they're playing right now and the way that they have been playing throughout this tournament, I'm absolutely not worried about anything that has anything to do with the mental game for outsiders. I think they're just so strong right now in that sense. I think it's one of the most curious things. I'm so interested. Who can finally put them to the test? Who can put them out of their comfort zone? That's a big question, and we haven't really found the answer yet. MOUZ Sports obviously looking to do that tonight, but
well, I mean, you'd think there's a chance here. I mean, that was the interview that was given yesterday by, I believe it was torzsi after all as well, who said, yeah, we played them in the Legend stage. We went back and watched that series. We saw where we made some mistakes. We saw where we could have capitalized on some of the situations. We got a little bit of a deeper understanding, especially with that series and how they approach the game and approach the rounds, and saying they feel much more prepared coming into this series. We didn't see too much of it in the first half.
I feel like that's one of the really frustrating things about Outsiders is I'm sure everyone does that kind of prep, but it feels like once you're in the server, I mean, one of the really dramatic examples is that was, I think, all the way back at the Legend stage when NIP were playing them.
Yeah. And
you just saw this, or a Challenger maybe, but you saw NIP waiting, and in the last 20 seconds of the rounds on their CT side, they'd sort of go and peek, and they would get shut down, and Outsiders win those T rounds. I feel like those mistakes, I'm sure NIP would have known, and I'm sure MOUZ Sports have had similar conversations. If the round comes to a slowdown, especially when you're on the CT side, if you feel like, wow, there's nothing happening on the map, maybe I should go look. It's such a big risk.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who had to compete against, you know, this similar team back in their VP days, it's very, very different. You have all the conversations you want, but
yeah,
once you're in the server, it's a completely different level of frustration, completely different level of information you're working with. And they will test you. They will test your mentality.
Well, MOUZ winning that pistol round could be absolutely everything for them. This map could still be quite CT-sided. I think a lot of people had hopes maybe that once they changed the configuration of the A-bomb side a little bit, that it would change somewhat, but I feel like it still is.
It's a little bit more alleviated towards the T side. I think you can still pull a few different things off, but yeah, this is one of the more CT-sided maps. I think, I mean, the point you made in the first half was probably the most important one to hang on to right now if you're MOUZ, is despite the fact that the 10-1 run is atrocious, the fact that MOUZ got 4 right out of the gate obviously helps so many issues, gives them a fighting chance here in the second half.
That's something to work with for sure. I think that one guy had already a coffin made for Heroic.
Well, they had Na'Vi in the coffin yesterday, and that one came true.
Yeah.
So
it's not bad. Not bad at all. Good prep.
Could see the head admin discussing things with the Outsiders coach, having a little bit of conversation of what's going on, of what the issue is.
Yeah, hopefully we figure it out sooner rather than later. But yeah, with this kind of a beginning for MOUZ in the second half, curious how they're going to be playing it. Like you pointed out in the first half, the mid control, and then as a side effect of the mid control, the B lane control that it allows for Outsiders, just gave them so much to work with. So not the only way I think to play the CT side here, but it's a strong start if you can do that.
No, but it's certainly, I mean, there's no reason to go away from that style if your opponent can never take it away from you, right? There's no need to switch it up. It gave Outsiders so much round and round again in the first half. I mean, MOUZ is going to be in those positions as well. The question is, will they be able to be as efficient with it, as powerful with it?
Yeah, they made it look very, very easy. All right, he's on it.
Get it, baby. It's about 2:45 here in Rio.
Yeah, we got time.
So that's yeah, that's an acceptable time to start chugging a beer if you're in a crowd.
Is that going to be you a little bit later, Jason, with Fury and Heroic?
Absolutely.
Game? Well, we'll look for you in the crowd. We'll find
the
cameraman.
It was a wild experience in here last night as well with the Fury and Na'Vi game, unparalleled through all the arenas that I've been in for that particular game.
Yeah,
I expect a very similar atmosphere tonight. You can even see Heroic begging on social media, please 50-50. They had great crowd support yesterday during their series Heroic, but
that
obviously,
is right there.
Yeah, obviously today it's going to swing the complete other direction.
Yeah, there's absolutely no question about it. They have developed kind of a love for Cadian, but I'm sure they're willing to give that away pretty quickly.
Yeah, there's no love in this arena when he steps on the stage against Furia. He'll feel none of that.
Definitely not. But that is how it is like playing on LAN, you know, different experience. I'm sure Cadian is going to be up for it.
Sure, he's going to love it.
Yeah, I think he probably will. He likes playing the heel every once in a while, so why not? Oh, man. Very interested to see. I mean, something else that MOUZ, I'm sure, have discussed, but that they're also going to have to be ready for now that Outsiders on the T side, is this problem of them seemingly attacking almost everywhere at once. it can be kind of tricky. I mean, just even in terms of the communication, right? If you hold down your push to talk to tell your teammates, all right, you know, there's a couple coming B, but then at the same time your teammates at A are saying, well, they're also kind of coming A, and someone's middle, yeah, but I'm fighting one middle. You're like, okay, what does that mean?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch MOUZ try and deal with that throughout this half. I think opening kills are going to be huge. If Outsiders is able to find the opening frags and thin them out, those kinds of situations become exponentially more difficult to deal with. We do have all 5 players from Outsiders back in the server. Tech issues have been solved. Thank you to the admins down on the stage. It's round 17. MOUZ has just won the second half pistol on their own CT side as they begin to mount a comeback. And a timeout is called by Outsiders to talk things over.
Yeah, a little bit of a discussion going into this one, just to make sure that they are all mentally prepped and are not going to get run over by any kind of madness coming from the Outsiders team.
And making sure you're all on the same page coming out of an extended tech pause as well. James probably had a million ideas running through his head of how he wants to play things, how he wants to approach things, and just getting everyone on the same philosophy moving into this round 17. P250s, Tech 9s, a Deagle picked up for Outsiders. Only 2 players with armor, so saving some money moving forward into the gun rounds.
Yeah, here we go. We're back into it. Round number 17. And should be MOUZ able to pick up a little bit here without having too many casualties. It's a luxury that Outsiders had on their CT side. It's just winning so many rounds flawlessly. Gave them almost an infinite amount of money. MOUZ would love to replicate and steal that from them. They're quite stretched on the map. You can see Famous on the one side, working over in those A hallways. Bomb is way on the other side with James and the rest of them. So, yeah. If you get an opening here anywhere, if someone from the CT side is a little bit too aggressive or just walks into a Deagle, they're going to plan the round behind that.
Flashbang over for Dexter to grab the angle and take a peek. That's dangerous as well. Gonna give him one more shot. Eventually one of those is gonna connect if Dexter keeps giving him the opportunity.
I was gonna say, please, please Dexter. We can't deal with it, it's too stressful.
And Outsiders providing plenty of time. Plenty of time to be able to take those shots with the Deagle. Frozen with the opening kill. And Fame is going to start lurking into the A bomb site, but JDC's in the back. Don't be confused by this. This is going to be... Oh, he's missed the timing.
He has. They get the headshot at the very least. He almost doesn't realize he doesn't. That Tech9 catching him off guard. And it's a 2-on-3. Frozen is close by, but risky if he runs for it and dies. James is right there when he lands the headshot. 1 versus 2. He should never be winning this round. That is SMG on the other side. Insertion. He nearly died, but that's a super expensive round. Again, like you pointed out, they did not even buy body armor on 3 players. They're going to have a lot of money going into this next round.
Just JDC's line of sight, the vision just taken away from him. That was so dangerous. If James gets that spam kill on Exertion, that becomes a very interesting situation where it's all down to timing, all down to luck with that headshot in the M4. 10-6. Outsiders do a good amount of damage to the economy, even in a loss with very minimal weapons. So this next round is going to be that much more powerful as the AK-47s are picked up.
Yeah, they've laid the groundwork already to quickly take away the money. And MOUZ have to know it. 3-round gap. It's looking fine in terms of the map for MOUZ point of view. They can make this back. The problem is the money. 3 in the middle to begin with. A lot of nades to try and stop any kind of a quick play. See if they can park that SMG. Qikert. Oh, that is a nice find. It's actually frozen with a little bit of damage and an exertion. Nade on top, but the headshot through the smoke. Flit goes down. This start could not have been better.
No, exactly. This is a huge benefit to MOUZ. 1 kill inside the smoke with nade, 1 spam through by the SMG. You'll take a 5-on-3 any day of the week. Exertion's going to get a little bit frisky. Looking for information in middle, sees nothing. A couple of bullets for his trouble.
And again, this is one of those tests. I'm sure they've had this conversation, but don't give them away back into this round. They are happy to save, and they'll save for the full minute if you let them. But if you go a little bit aggressive and you lose a player, well, then the round is back on again. So
that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
Outsiders are just going to save this whole time. $2,900 loss bonus, so James will be able to get an AK-47. Flit might be relegated to a Galil, but more than happy to just save the weapons and utility they have and rinse and repeat the round. Plenty of utility can be picked up by these 3 players as well to bolster what they have remaining.
And I think what we've learned over the years is that a lot of other teams, right, being forced to save like this would be maybe a little bit stressful for the individuals in the team, where you feel like you're giving up a round almost for free. But it's very obvious now that outsiders don't care. This is part of their game plan. They're super happy to do it, and they'll do it over and over again.
It's the philosophy that they play the game with, right? It is playing the percentages. Like, yeah, we've seen plenty of teams win 3v5s. We've seen it happen plenty of times throughout this tournament, but with a 3-round lead, you don't have to risk anything at this point if you're outsiders. Just save it and play for the more high percentage 5-on-5 with another full buy next round.
20 kills on Norbert right now. He's having himself a beautiful start to the semi-final. A lot of questions around him from, you know, I think both the analyst desk and just in general maybe. But he certainly has his games, and this is one of them. And what you do here just matters a lot more than it did earlier in the tournament.
Yeah, he was fantastic on the CT side at that B bomb site. Playing it passively, grabbing his 1 or 2 kills as they entered in. Some very staunch defense. And actually, James doesn't go for the AK-47. So playing with a little bit longer term in mind. Sticking to the pistol, sticking to the Tech 9 for James.
Yeah, allows them to stay dangerous later down the track. Everything has been thought through. Trying to see if they can make it through these early grenades from the MOUZ side of things. And a lot of smoke going on, kind of hard to see anything. Dexter has to be real careful. If they come charging through and he's not ready, he's the only defender here. Smoke on the other side, so he can't really get any help either for exertion, and he gets checked by Fame. That's a huge kill. Frozen, important kill in return. And actually, outsiders, they go push forward and try to see if they can take that control. Yeah, you have that deep Molotov to prevent any reinforcements from turning the corner. The deep smoke as well, they can't come through. Now the problem is, Fame is one of the players there with low HP. Good trade from Norbert. You said his name. He's got another one through the smoke. And already some damage as well. Some of them are lower health there on the T side, but where's the entry going to come from? Running into it, Exertion with the headshot. They don't know about Jamin. That's a free kill. Shooting Exertion in the back. It's just torzsi left, and he knows someone's back there, but he's quickly running out of time to find the remaining players, and I'm not sure it could even be done anymore. He's got the AK here, but yeah, they're going to be Molotoving that, and that's a signal that the round is done. Jamin with the final kill, and outsiders from outsiders. That's something that MOUZ just did not expect. That pop through the smoke was so impactful. As you mentioned, Dexter, the only one there, one player in cave, locked off from being involved in the battle. And this is something we never saw MOUZ able to do. They did attempt it a couple times, but were shut down. Is this push forward towards the back wall. The Molotovs to cover, the flashbangs and the utility activates outsiders to gain complete control of the bomb site and feel comfortable playing the post plant. I think that last point is so important to highlight. Once they're in that 3v3, 2v2, they slow it down, and there are no more fights left for MOUZ Sports to really get. So now they're the ones that have to re-engage, and that's very, very tricky to do. Oh, it's not far off. No more money in the bank of MOUZ. If they lose this round, it's going to be, it could be a landslide. And let's see how they manage mid-presence on the T side from outsiders. This was something that MOUZ was never able to do on their own offensive half, was gain this kind of mid and be able to challenge through Donut early on, be able to challenge these mid steps. It's already forced an early rotation from torzsi. Oh, wow. He could have been, they probably should have been dead. And yet they can't have the mid control. They don't have the grenades for it, so they just had to stay away. Nice headshot. Flit's going to be taken down, and another one. Adding to it, Exertion gets blown up. What a round. And look at your minimap. Look at what this has caused. This pressure had already pulled 4 players to the A side of the map. Dexter was the only one at B. Those 2 kills from Flit make it absolutely impossible for MOUZ to be in a good position to defend against anything. They almost have to gamble. And at least, unfortunately, in this round, they're gambling incorrectly. Yeah, well, MOUZ, I mean, even if they go all day, just save the rifles. There's nothing else to do. And this is another feature of the Outsiders gameplay. Look at Norbert just kind of walking in on his lonesome ahead of everybody else. If he gets into an engagement, the follow-up players have plenty of time to address the situation and know where the defense is positioned. He creates so much space and so much intel, and at least this time he's been able to pass on nobody's home. Let's take the free round 12. I hope you can feel at home when you're watching this, how suffocating it is for MOUZ. You can see it coming round for round. Even the rounds that outsiders don't win, they do just enough damage, they just stay dangerous, and eventually you get pushed into this kind of thing where you don't have the grenades for the mid-take, and then suddenly they have the mid-control and they build behind it. And now you've been beat by like a really quick spread-out default control from outsiders turned into a B-pop through a smoke. Now you've been beat by a very slow-paced mid-control in the mid-round with actual challenges up the mid-stairs.
Already Outsiders have been able to find multiple ways to beat you.
Four-round gap. But they are ramping up on that T side. First step, the first absolute necessity for MOUZ is to get the money back so they can start to fight a little bit more of an even foot here, because this is going to be tough now. 3 M4s. I wouldn't be surprised if you try and go for a little bit more aggression with this. You don't have much of a choice, I feel like. If you play this one passively with no nades and 3 rifles, that sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Oh, James going to peek this too. If there's contact from Flip. Okay, there goes the kill. James, he's coming out slowly, but doesn't commit to the fight. He says it's already lost. My teammate's already gone down. Why risk it?
Yeah, he wanted to. And also, I think Fame didn't have a flashbang to throw over. If he would have had one in T-spawn, maybe he throws it over for James to peek behind, but they just didn't. So that's an interesting start. And the aggression in middle, it does work out for MOUZ. Nice start for them. They have this bomb site slightly stacked, but again, no grenades to slow them down. Norbert, again, a good opening. But this time Exertion is there, and he's going to pick up that fallen rifle. 3 versus 4, and it is looking a little bit better. They almost get caught running inside of the bomb site. That's a careless move, and torzsi, it's going to cost him his life. Now in a 3-on-3, and they're actually going to stop the bomb for a minute. James, good headshot, a little bit delayed from Exertion. JDC fighting back. And did they hear Qikert? I'm not sure.
Yeah, they know he's
seconds. I think you're right. They definitely did. And now with the smoke, they absolutely know. Frozen would love a rifle, but do you want to risk it and walk forward? If you don't, maybe you're going to be in a one-on-one with a USP. He's looking for it. Good angle, but there's the peak. JDC to save his team with a quad kill. And MOUZ, this round, if they're going to end up winning this map, this is going to be a round we're going to be talking about.
And they needed those heroics out of JDC. That's such a dangerous hit. Again, the spacing from Norbert. He gets that first kill, goes 1 for 1. The defense shifts because no one else is actually challenging on B ramp. They think it's coming from elsewhere, and it's actually still going to be ramp just 5 seconds after you expect it. Allows James to grab a couple kills at the end of the day. But thank God JDC's here in the MOUZ jersey. First kill is his. There goes James. And even to clean things up onto Qikert, baiting his teammate perfectly. Timeout taken. This is from Outsiders, their 3rd timeout. Both teams with 1 remaining.
It's crunch time now. If you can beat Outsiders in this next round, you have such a clear path to get back into the game. But if they steal it away from you, then I'm not sure they're going to be looking back. They might just cruise straight to the finishing line here and pick up Ancient. This feels like it's one of, if not the most deciding round here. Norbert on 22, James on 20. They're fighting against some crazy firepower on top of everything else. And again, that spread from Outsiders. And the fun really starts here. If they find one opening, that minimap suddenly becomes real interesting to look at.
Delayed to start with. Passive as Norbert and James come right back to the B bomb site. To join up with Qikert, who's got lane control. 3 defenders on this side of the map at B.
Yeah, holding on to their nades rather well at the moment on the MOUZ side. Something they didn't have earlier. Looks like they might try and pop flash their way through for Dexter to take a peek. There is that AWP. Oh, the flash, it went short, but it doesn't matter. Dexter is crisp with that M4. He's going to be taking down James.
I think James is looking at the deep angle. That's where he's expecting the fight to come from. Not from the shallow one, not from the close angle. That flashbang doesn't work either, and torzsi's more than happy. 1 for 1. But Outsiders have found no access. There's nowhere on the map they're having success challenging.
Fame making a bit of noise, making that jump. The bomb is still on the other side. Always look on that minimap if you're playing Outsiders, because any point you give this up, they could slip the net, and suddenly you have no idea what's happening. You can see Qikert, he's waiting for it. There's some information, and they did spot him at the very least in the double peek. Oh no! But Qikert is there! Double headshot, I can't believe it! And now they're on the bomb site. There's just 10 seconds left. Dexter, he loves to be the hero. He wants to try and do it, but the bomb is planted, and he's out in the open. He gets absolutely taken down by Fame, and now it's JDC to try and save the round again. They need this. This was their round, but no! It gets stolen back. Fame with the double, and that is a classic Outsiders round.
Man, I don't even, the Qikert double is spectacular, but the defense had already shifted out of position. Great opening kill from Dexter, but this is unreal right here. Double kill, they line up for the angle. And Dexter does his best to recover the scenario, drop the bomb, make it impossible, but just cannot find it. And you're exactly right. That is just a textbook Outsiders round. Even when you have a man advantage, they found a way to outposition and outmaneuver you on the map.
They heard Fame jumping just to the lip of the A-bomb site. It's enough to make them curious. They fall a little bit back, and then they're like, oh, wait a minute. We don't have all the information. We don't know if it's going to be an execute. Let's go check middle. They do, and they get blown up, and the round is over. It's so crazy. Doesn't take a lot.
No, what I mean, just the way that Outsiders is going to move you on the map, because you're just so nervous about where they are and where they're challenging, and you're constantly wondering if that's the final play. You're constantly wondering if that's where you need to allocate your resources, because that is the goal of Outsiders. And unfortunately this time, pulled completely out of position. And now desperation for MOUZ. They don't have a lot. They buy up into it, 3 Deagles and 2 M4s.
Tactically, and the way that they manipulate that defense, it is some of the best we've seen in a really long time from any team. So hard to play against. They get the opening, and this time it's a little bit more clear-cut. It's a little bit more of a straight uppercut to the A-bomb side this time. Frozen tries to get back. He will take down Norbert. That's actually pretty respectable.
And this time the defense isn't budged. They're not entirely sure. Exertion just now putting it together. The Deagle spam not going to stop the bomb. That might have been the best chance that MOUZ had. Flit finds Dexter. Eventually taken down, but a tough 3-on-3 post plant, and Qikert is in an aggressive lurk scenario.
If they had a kit, this would be such a different scenario, because they do have a smoke that they could put up, could put a lot of pressure on this T side, but as you pointed out, that flank is going to be coming in and they're not ready for it. It's so early that they're not going to be expecting it either. Frozen, smoke is up, and he does check right after. It's not bad, but again, without the kit, it's a 10-second defuse inside of the smoke. It's just not going to happen. Frozen, he gets found out as well, and now it's just torzsi to try and save this M4A1. 14 on the side of Outsiders. This is just so, again, it's suffocating.
Yeah, and that's a retake I think MOUZ would want to have back so they can call it off and actually save those M4s. By the time they actually started getting going without a kit, time was already too far gone. There was no chance that retake was going to happen. 14-9. Final timeout called from MOUZ to try and recover the situation, but I have no idea how you're supposed to do it.
I mean, like you pointed it out, you look at that round in isolation with no context, and you might think, why are they not rotating out the MOUZ? Why are there not more people coming to the A-bomb side? But if you look at the blast round, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. I mean, it's obviously, if you love Counter-Strike, you have to appreciate what Outsiders are doing. But playing against them, you're going to hate it every step of the way.
I don't think anyone enjoys playing against Outsiders. I can't think of a single player.
Oh, definitely not.
5-round lead. Outsiders just 2 rounds away from taking the opening map of the semifinals. And this time Flit, knowing the advantage and with the MAC-10, take an aggressive stance in middle. The pace gets picked up. This is where Outsiders love to show you a different speed, a different pacing to their tactics when they know they have the overwhelming superiority of firepower and resources.
Yeah, like you're not going to have the grenades to hold middle or anything else. Nice triple on the MAC-10. They get chewed up, and now it's just Exertion left. He's going to be found. It's a quick and a flawless round. 15 for Outsiders. 1 round away from winning the opening map of the semifinals. And MOUZ, this is a big test. This is a big question. What kind of strength does this team have to fight back? They're going to need 6 in a row.
And this is their map pick as well. This is the ground that they wanted to take it to for this kind of a battle. For all that prep work they did that went into Ancient knowing they were going to pick it. This has gone horribly wrong. Essentially from round 5 on. Both pistol rounds won by MOUZ. 7 rounds total off the back of those pistols. But other than that, it's been complete domination for Outsiders. And this T side has been a tactical showcase.
Yeah, one day somebody's going to find a really, really good answer to this kind of style, but question is if that day will happen before this major is over, because the way that they're playing right now is not clear who's going to be able to shut them down.
Don't forget as well, Jaime and Qikert have been in a major grand final. They're looking for redemption. They're looking to come right back and finally win that trophy, the one that was denied them back in Berlin.
Yeah, Astralis not here anymore.
And in many ways, that Astralis is not with us anymore.
Yeah, I'm sure they're thankful for that. Well, they get the opening on Exertion, and now it's under 50 seconds. Plenty of time for Outsiders to do whatever they want. Going to put some pressure on that donut. JDC is here hiding in the corner. They're going to go look for him, and he's so comfortable taking that fight. Flit will drop JDC. 5-on-3 here. Torzsi's in the middle, just trying to see if he can run, maybe do something. This is desperate, but it almost has to be. They're giving up on the B-bomb side, and maybe that's for good. The bomb is on the ground. Jaime goes down, and that's a little bit of a wrinkle that Outsiders maybe weren't expecting. 3 versus 2 as they find Dexter, but Torzsi's still here. He's going to get that, and through the smoke, he finds Norbert, and another one. Fame goes down. A quad kill on Torzsi. It took everything. They abandoned that B-bomb site, but they get the round.
Yeah, I don't know what Qikert was doing, though. He was coming in on the flank to try and address the situation. He doesn't even look left once he gets to Donut. Must have had a different call from a teammate, but what a save from torzsi. That 1 kill on Jaime. Those are the mistakes you have to capitalize when they present themselves when you're playing Outsiders. Is Jaime alone in Donut with the bomb. That's a huge frag to get, to drop it and throw a wrench in Outsiders' plans. Still, just 1 round away. And with plenty of money, they switch to Tech 9s and Mac 10s. Another change of pace. How do you see this coming? How do you read it, and how do you stop it if you're MOUZ?
You don't? They're not ready at all. Dexter gets run down, but torzsi with a very, very important double to try and bring it back. No bomb plant yet. They wanted to focus on the aggression and keep pushing. Fame is going to land a headshot there, but still 2 versus 3, and they're going to be backing out with a bomb. They could go, oh, they might park Jaime here and wait for somebody to rotate. Look at Fame, he's making noise intentionally. He's running and frozen. He's not ready. What a great bait setup. And they still have time. They don't even have to go for A. Looks like they still will continue, but in theory, they could have doubled back as well. 2 on 2. And of all the ways to lose a round, this one might be especially heartbreaking. You had the early fight at B. You feel like you've almost won it. And then they slip out of the bomb site with the bomb, and you're not ready for it. Fame's going to be picking up torzsi, and now JDC, SMG in hand walking in, but there's no way he could break this up there on either side. This crossfire is locked in, and Outsiders, they'll pick up the first match 16-10 with an absolutely suffocating performance.
Textbook Outsiders Counter-Strike from start to finish. That offensive half is a thing of beauty. Jaime just called a brilliant game, and his players all delivered on top of it. That is a shockingly strong victory for Outsiders. Map 1 is theirs, it's in the books. The semifinals continue after the break.